All right, y'all. Spinny has got a wild one today. BB is his
Challenge, baby.
headline. Man, I don't even know. BB, no way Bus gets this one. Apparently, Hardy's and Hardos, he's claiming that he won't even admit to y'all what BB stands for if I don't guess it correctly. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, there is one other out where you could get me to tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you. You have to figure it out. There is one like Easter egg type way you could get it out of me too, but for the most part, you gotta figure out what.
What? That don't even make sense either.
No, it does. It does. We've all played enough video games to know what an Easter egg is.
BB, Hardy's and Hardos. Try to figure out
BB.
why Spinny would put BB, literally the letters BB, as his headline.
It stands for something. I'll give you that. It stands for something.
Obviously.
Oh, okay.
I guessed it stood for big bricks because Spinny's always throwing up bricks whenever he plays basketball, but I
Bus
guess that
has
wasn't right.
Bus has some insecurities, so he likes to project them on me. But it's fine.
BB, Bus is a baller. That's definitely what it means.
BB is actually bus bricks. So sorry, y'all. Just
No
kidding.
way, is it actually?
No, it's not. Come on.
I thought you were serious for a second though.
On that note of bus being gullible, let's get to it.
All right, y'all. We're gonna start episode 67. Who do we got, Spinny? Who do we got today? I know there can't be many 67s.
Who do you got? What do you mean? Who
I
do I got?
got
You're the one that
I
had it.
got the Bob Kuchenberg, apparently the greatest NFL player to ever wear number 67, O lineman for the Dolphins back in the day, was part of their 17-0 team. Bob Kuchenberg, shout out to you.
All right, the Bob Kuchenberg app, I guess, because yeah, I got some.
What are your names? I
I
know there
got
gotta be some
I got
wild ones.
Reggie McKenzie, who is another NFL player. We got some 70s and 80s NFL guys going on here, but we're just gonna stick with Bob Kuchenberg because he has the coolest name. So the Bob
Bob
Kuchenberg.
Kuchenberg, the GOAT of 67s. Y'all heard it here first. We're gonna start this episode off with MLB trade deadline talk. It was Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time was the cutoff. There was a couple crazy trades. I didn't think it was that wild of a deadline though. Spinny, what were your initial general thoughts of the deadline?
Texas Rangers got a bunch of boys. Bunch of boys.
Hence my headline: Rangers AL champs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was some good moves. I thought, yeah, there was some classic dumpster fires. I like rooting for the Mets. I honestly do. I don't know why. I've always kind of liked them low key, but they can just never.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's start with the Mets then. We might as well. They obviously traded Verlander and Scherzer. We'll start with the Verlander trade because these were definitely the two biggest trades of the deadline.
Yep.
August 1st, on deadline day, Verlander was traded and $52.5 million. The Mets will cover $52.5 of his $90 million contract, so the Astros only have to pay about $40 million. They gave up two of their outfield prospects, probably their best two prospects overall, based on what I've been reading up on them. Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford, who the Mets got in return. This is obviously a great move for the Astros. They only have to pay less than half of his contract, and they're obviously competing, being the reigning MLB champions. So they re-signed, or not re-signed, but got Verlander back on the squad for this playoff run here.
Yes, sir. Mets traded both their pitchers to division rivals, to AL division rivals. That's kind of wild. Classic Mets move, I feel like. Yeah. What other crazy moves did you like, Bus?
Well, the Scherzer one, that one kind of surprised me just because it was another one where they only have to pay about half of his contract. Now, they did extend him already, so they'll be paying him a little more. It is Max Scherzer, I guess, but he's definitely looked. I think the age is finally hitting him a little bit. This year, he's taking a step back a little bit, allowing more home runs and hits, things like that. Still has his strikeout power, though. So I was a little shocked they gave up as much as they did. And the guy they gave up, do you know who they gave up?
I do not.
His last name is Acuna.
Really?
They gave up Ronald Acuna Jr.'s little brother, Luis Angel Acuna, who
Really?
was their top prospect infielder, 21 years old. He's just like his brother. He's batting 315 and has 42 stolen bases in the minors right now.
42?
42, yeah. Ronald has 51, I believe, right now, or something like that. So just like his brother on the base pass out there. So I was a little shocked to see that, but I guess your Mets, since apparently you like them, I just found that out today for some reason. I did
You
not
never
realize
knew
that.
that?
No,
Like back to like Mike Piazza and Carlos Beltran and like the OG Mets.
them old boys.
The OG Mets I used to like low key, you know. So I'm not like a fan or anything. Just don't hate them.
Yeah. Well, your Mets, I mean, they got a nice little farm system rolling now. So maybe, just maybe, they can actually be good in like 5 years. I
No,
doubt it.
no,
I doubt it.
not possible. That's like saying the Twins were going to win a playoff game. It's kind of where we're at.
Facts. That is facts. For the Rangers side of things, though, it does obviously make sense. They're having an amazing year. To add a stud like that to your rotation, awesome. They also, we might as well jump to the next Rangers move. That's Jordan Montgomery. This was a low-key great move, in my eyes at least. This was, I think, kind of the same thing as last year is about to happen. I could obviously end up being wrong here, but last year, Jordan Montgomery was kind of struggling for the Yanks, kind of average at best. Traded to the Cardinals, started pitching amazing. This year, same thing. Not pitching very well for the Cardinals. I think the new change of scenery, now on a team that's competing for something, he's going to start pitching better again. To have Scherzer, Montgomery, and Evaldi as your top three with all the bats that they have, that's a scary team, man.
What do you think Jordan Montgomery's ERA is?
I mean, it's still pretty solid, isn't it? It's got to be under 4, right?
Yeah, it's 3.42
Yeah,
ERA for Jordan Montgomery and a
he's been good.
1.25 WHIP. So really, I think he's been a little bit underrated his performance this year, and the Cardinals have just been bad. I mean, obviously he's got a 6-9 record, and Jordan Montgomery has never been a strikeout machine. Obviously, it's not really his game, but a little bit of an underrated season from him, I feel like.
Yeah, that is fair. That's fair. How about you? Do you have any low key good trades like that kind of stood out to you?
My boy Lance Lynn. Lance
Lynn. Now he has been terrible this year.
Okay, terrible.
6 ERA, doesn't he?
Yeah, ERA of 6.
Yeah, definitely. Terrible.
First start with the Dodgers, 7 innings pitched, 3 earned, 7 strikeouts.
That's what I'm saying. He is gonna have crazy run support now in LA. So that's kind of just why you liked it, just the change of scenery, going to an elite team.
I think he can make it work. I think I've got a little faith in Lance Lynn turning around with the Dodgers. Maybe
really?
I do.
No, that's not crazy, honestly. That's fair. Where lost my spot on my notes here. The other one that kind of stood out to me in the AL at least.
Go ahead.
Aaron Savell having a great year for the Guardians. He was traded to the Rays. Rays are obviously in the thick of things, and to add a nice underrated arm like that to your rotation is always great, especially for the stretch run down the season here. Savell hovering right above a 2 ERA, 2.3, 2.4, I believe. He, however, has missed a lot of games. He started the year on the IL, which is why he doesn't qualify. Otherwise, he would be up there among the league leaders in ERA, actually.
Wow. Yeah, that is a nice pickup for them. Other AL East move that I forgot to mention, Jack Flaherty to the Orioles. I think that's
you like that? You think it?
Move. What?
The only issue I have with that though is this guy like ever gonna stay healthy? Like, I just don't know.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
right.
have to. Do you have the minor leaguers written down?
I do.
Not that I would know them, but like,
I I don't actually. Oh, here we go. Cesar Pareto, Drew Rom, and Zach Showalter.
Zach Showalter.
Left-handed
Okay.
pitcher, right-handed pitcher, and an infielder. So, Pareto and Rom were 16 and 18 ranked in the farm system. I don't
Okay.
have the number on Showalter. So
He yeah. I guess I kind of just wish they would have made a bigger trade, like a splashier trade.
you wanted Dylan Cease to the Orioles, huh?
Like something like that. Like something
Yeah.
really splashy. Maybe even like a Verlander Scherzer. Like one
Yeah.
of these top dogs. I wanted them to make a splash move like that. So it kind of underwhelmed me in that regard. But it does sound like they didn't have to give up much to get Flaherty. So a guy that used to pitch at an absolutely elite level. I do see that in July he has basically a 3 flat ERA over his 5 starts, so he's pitching well as of late. So definitely great to get an arm like that for sure. Another one for me, jumping to the NL, would be Paul Sewald, stud relief pitcher for the Mariners, traded to the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks obviously have been surprised some people this year. They're contending for the playoff spot here. You need bullpen. Every team needs bullpen, especially for the playoffs and especially for the end of the season as you try to make the playoffs. So to add one of the best relief pitchers in the game, that's a win for the D-backs for sure.
Yeah, nice little bullpen move by the Braves too, getting Brad Hand. I thought that was a nice little
Yes.
extra arm that the Braves.
I honestly didn't even notice that trade until today.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I was just looking through transactions and I saw that one and I was like, not a bad call by them. And
do you have
they gave up Alec Barger, who was their 17th round pick. So again, not a huge give up this year. But again, Hand is more of a lefty specialist, right? He's got a 4.5 ERA this year, but he gives up a 140 batting average to lefties. So that's kind of what you're looking for in your bullpen there with him.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
From the seller standpoint, were there any sellers that surprised you, or it was pretty much what was expected?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was what was expected from where teams' records were. Like, obviously, I didn't see the Mets or Cardinals being sellers going into the year.
Yeah.
I expected the Yankees to potentially be sellers a little bit, but I guess that should never.
And they kind of, what didn't really make any sense is they kind of stood pat.
Yeah, I mean,
they
so
didn't
did
really
the
make
Twins,
any,
obviously, so we're not allowed to do that either.
That's not a surprise. But when you're the freaking Yankees,
I know
you got to make some moves.
Also, Seattle having a winning record and kind of selling.
Yeah, to sell Sewald. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they give up anyone else? Do you know?
But
yeah, either way,
yeah,
you give up one of your better relievers.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple teams I thought maybe Chicago could have done a little more.
That one. Okay, from the buyer's standpoint, was there any surprises to you? Because the Cubs stood out to me. I thought they'd be sellers. I know that NL Central, they're still in the race or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of thought more of like a Twins approach for them. Either stand pat or sell, because you're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Not that they, gave up a ton or acquired a ton, but still just the fact that they were sellers surprised me. I thought they would try to ship out Cody Bellinger at this time where he's, seems to be back to MVP form. Ship him out because you could have actually maybe got a good chunk for him.
No, that is a good point.
They got Jaime Candelario.
Yeah.
That was their main buy. He was basically the best third baseman available at the trade deadline. So that's who they got.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, I would have been okay. You could have sold me on them selling as well. I just expected if buying was the way they were going to go, I was going to see more of it. or
Right.
there wasn't
Not just
going to see
not
this
just the one move.
half-assed little situation they had going on.
Yeah. That was the most questionable thing to me, is that I thought there were a lot of teams that were in that realm where they either didn't sell when they should have, or they didn't really buy enough. They bought, they just traded for one player, maybe two, when they should have been way more aggressive.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. Another team would be the Angels. Like, I get it. You have Ohtani. If this was any other sport, we'd be saying you have the best player in the league. You need to try to win, right? I get it. But all signs are starting to point to him leaving, right? He's a free agent this summer, or after the season, I should say. Wouldn't be the summer. Like, that's a pretty damn big risk, if you ask me, to roll the dice like this.
On the best player in the league, yeah.
Like, you might just let this dude walk for nothing.
For
literally nothing. When we saw Juan Soto last year go for the price that he went for, you're letting Shohei Ohtani potentially walk for free. And the thing is, I don't think any of the guys they acquired are going to push them over the edge. No. I still don't think after this trade deadline, they're better than the Rangers or the Astros. And that's only in their division.
Literally.
We're not even talking about the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Rays. Like, we're not talking about any of these other teams.
Yeah, I know.
So.
And you're going to, they could have got an unworldly amount at the deadline.
Unworldly. It'd been the biggest haul for a player of all time.
Yeah.
Easily.
It's probably the Dodgers or the Yanks.
Yeah. And now the Dodgers are going to get them
for free
without having to give up anything.
Yep.
Other than their own money.
Yep.
All right. I think we covered it pretty good. Do you have any other closing remarks? I guess the one I do want to bring up, random trade that I just was so confused about, would be one that happened in our division, and that was the Guardians trading Ahmed Rosario for Noah Syndergaard. That one made absolutely zero sense to me. It was a straight up deal. Syndergaard is terrible. He is ass. I'm sorry. He sucks. The only reason why he apparently has value is because his name is Noah Syndergaard. Everyone's holding on to this hope that the 1 year he was really great, 5-6 years ago now, that he'll be good again. It's just not happening. He sucks. His fastball is down to 92 he tops out at. You're just not going to be an effective pitcher when you're only 27, 28, 29 years old. I don't know how fucking old he is. And that's as fast as you can pitch. You're not going to be good. I'm sorry. He's not good. Not that Ahmed Rosario is otherworldly, but to only get Noah Syndergaard for Ahmed Rosario, that one just blew my mind. I just didn't understand it.
They must have faith in him.
And from the Dodgers standpoint, too, is they need a shortstop, especially a defensive shortstop. They don't have one now that they lost Seager and Turner.
Yeah.
But Ahmed Rosario sucks at defense. He's not very good at defense. So it's from both sides, makes zero sense. So that one I just had to throw out there. Twins. Let's move on to the Twins before we jump to trivia. We did absolutely nothing. Not a single move. Not one. What do you think about that? Surprise you? Exactly what you expected? What do you think?
Yeah, same old story. Same old story.
Literally. Same shit, different year, man.
Yeah. Now Joe Ryan's in the AL and Dallas Keuchel's on our staff, so we'll see how that goes.
Is he really? I thought he
No, Joe Ryan, 15-day IL, Dallas Keuchel picked up, just announced 39 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Dallas Keuchel, sweet.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hey, we got a Cy Young winner on our staff, baby.
Sweet. We love 5-6-year-old Cy Youngs, yeah.
Yep. Hey,
you cool with that though? You cool with literally doing absolutely nothing?
No, obviously not. But
obviously. So what?
Actually, I don't know. I'd rather have us do absolutely nothing than buy when we're not going to do anything anyway.
Right.
I'd almost rather have us sell than the most.
That's what I was just going to say. I would have liked to see Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
You could get something for him. He's playing well. Plenty of playoff teams need another pitcher.
And he's not resigning with us.
And he is not resigning with us. So he's going to get to walk for free at the end of the season.
Then we could have got
stuff
for him.
I guess. Maybe we were, I guess.
Maybe we were, and
I
nobody
didn't see
wanted
any
them, but
rumors. Right.
that surprises me.
Right. So we're on the same boat on Twins. Spinny, you think it's your week now or what, man? I don't know.
I don't know. You're gonna have a hard time with my theme this week, I think.
Oh God, this kid's probably whipping out all tennis questions or something ridiculous.
You never know. Could be right.
Oh my
Let
gosh.
me go first with my.
No. Let me hear our ever excellent Jack, please, and then we will.
No, you want to delay the inevitable? All right.
Okay. Let's not delay it any longer then. Let's get right after it. So what you say you wanted to ask first or answer first? Okay.
I like to ask first, given my WNBA theme questions.
Okay. All right, let's get it.
25 of teams have completed between 22 and 25 games. There's 36 total games in the regular season. Just want to put that out there.
Say it again. Sorry, I was getting in my standings.
Teams have completed 22 of the 22 between 22 and 25 games. And there's 36 total games in the regular season. So that's where we're at in the season. I'm in the WNBA. Just wanted to preface all my questions with that. Okay.
Oh, you said WNBA question.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I thought you said NBA. All right, this is gonna be. Okay, what isn't even fair, man?
What do you mean?
Whatever. Tell me.
Now you're gonna complain after you said got it. Nice. Listen to me then. Best record currently in the WNBA. What team?
Aces.
Correct.
Okay, you did start nice and easy for me. I was a little worried. Your easy question was going to actually low-key be hard. No. So do they still? You said 22 to 25 games.
Yeah.
Let me try to guess it. Well, tell me how many specifically they've played.
26.
They are 20-6.
They are 24-2.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
What?
The next best team is the Liberty, who's 20-6.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yep.
There you go. WNBA final matchup right there.
Yep.
Most likely. All right. My easy question. I believe it's easy. We'll see. Twins didn't make a single move this year at the deadline, right? But last year, we acquired 3 pitchers at the deadline. Name one of them.
Sonny Gray. No.
Final answer?
No. You gave me that weird. You gave me that weird look right
I gave you a facial expression.
I don't like that at all. Did we get Pagan last year? No. Oh. Sonny Gray wasn't the deadline. Frick.
No facial expression for you. You sit like this. 10 seconds.
I'm going to say Pagan. I'm going to say Amelia Pagan.
Wrong.
Is it Sonny Gray? Sonny Gray's wrong too, though.
Sonny Gray is wrong. We did get a starter and 2 bullpen pitchers. Our now looks absolutely brutal trade for Tyler Mahle.
Oh, yeah.
And we also acquired Jorge Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
And Michael Fulmer for the 3 pitchers. I thought maybe you would got Mahle or Lopez. And it was a Twins question. That's why it was easy.
That's fair.
All right. Your medium question.
Highest free throw percentage, minimum 15 games played in the WNBA this season.
So dumb. Such a dumb question.
It's a big.
What?
Yeah.
There's no shot attempt limit here, huh?
No, there is. It's
the limit is just 15 games.
Yeah, I will tell you how many or free throw attempts she has. It's a good amount.
Not that I like really need to know that. I'm gonna go. I'm not. You don't have to tell me. I'm gonna go. Man, I got two names that come to mind. Maybe even three. Oh man, I'm gonna say one. It's gonna be the other. De La Don.
And that's your guess? Who's the other?
That's my guess. Final answer.
Yes.
De La Don.
Yep.
Was I right?
Yeah.
Ah! Let's go. You thought I didn't know WNBA?
Was Brianna Stewart your other guess?
Brianna Stewart was my other guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of like the best two bigs in the WNBA that I could think of. The other one was going to be Aja Wilson or Asia Wilson. Sorry,
Asia Wilson.
I think it's Asia. All right, medium question. Acuna is on pace. In fact, almost there. I shouldn't even say on pace. He's almost there to become the third member of the 30-50 club. He already has over 50 stolen bases. He's at 26 home runs, I believe. Name one of the other two.
Do I get two guesses?
You can have two guesses. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Ricky Henderson and Barry Bonds.
Ricky Henderson. Barry Bonds. Ding.
Okay.
Barry Bonds in 1990 and Eric Davis in 1987.
Oof.
Are your two. That's why I was medium, because I knew you were going to guess Barry Bonds. All right. We enter the hard round. I'm up one, Spinny. I mean, you got to get it, boy. You got to get my hard. Well, actually, my hard questions broken up into three. So that makes it a little easier for you.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay. Hard question. Current WNBA leader in points per game this season.
This is a hard question.
Yep.
Man, I mean, it's going to be some random chick, probably. She gets buckets.
She's played 24 games, 35 minutes a game.
She's played almost every game, plays basically the whole game. It can't be a big name, a super big name. Oh, man. Oh, this chick actually is a bucket getter, but I cannot think of her name to save my life, dude. It's not all randomly Nafisha Collier for the Lynx.
That's your guess?
Yes.
She is fourth, actually, in the league.
Dang.
The answer is Jewel Lloyd.
Jewel Lloyd is leading
24.6 points a game for Seattle. Jewel Lloyd.
I didn't know she could get buckets like that.
Literally.
She's so small, isn't she? Isn't she a little point guard?
5'10", yeah.
Oh, she's 5'10". Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was even smaller than that.
No, yeah, from the Notre Dame point guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just did not think she could get buckets like that.
Literally.
That's crazy. I'm a little proud of my guess, though. I didn't realize the Fisha was that high.
So, yeah.
At least I threw out a top 5.
She is at 21.8.
I honestly just assumed she had a chance at it just because I know we're absolutely terrible. She's our only good player. So I figured she had to get some points up.
Yep.
All right. Here you go, Spinny. For all the marbles. My hard question. 3-part question, 1 point for each. Which defensive tackle, that's a hint for y'all Hardies and Hardos about what we're going to talk about next. Which defensive tackle has the NFL record for most sacks in a season? What year was it? And how many sacks?
Can I get the in our lifetime guess?
In our lifetime, correct.
Ooh, in our lifetime. Really?
Yes.
So it's not going to be Aaron Donald because that's way too obvious. So
sacks in a season, how many, what year? So 2 numbers you get to throw out. That makes it a little easier.
Ndamukong Suh comes to mind. Albert Hainsworth comes to mind. Kevin Williams comes to mind. Did you really do that to me?
It's not a Williams brother. I'm sorry. That made me laugh.
I'm going to say Albert Hainsworth, 14, Albert Hainsworth, 2008.
And, and. 0 for 3. You overthought it, brother. It is Aaron Donald.
No, it's not.
You overthought it.
Why did you give me Aaron Donald on a hard question?
I made it hard because you had to answer all 3 to get full points. That's why it's hard. Aaron Donald in 2018 had an NFL record 20 and a half sacks. NFL record for D tackle. Sorry. 20 and a half. The record before that was 8.
20 and a half sacks?
Yeah, dude.
How did I not?
DPOY 2018.
20 and a half.
20 and a half. Dead ass.
It was Aaron Donald? No way.
It was literally Aaron Donald. You could have easily tied right there by just saying Aaron Donald. You should have had it tied. I thought for sure you were going to immediately say Aaron Donald. That was why I was a little worried even giving you the in our lifetime hint because I was like, okay, then he's instantly saying Aaron Donald. You overthought it, brother. Let's go. 1 point win.
Let's go. All right, let's get to it then. D tackles list. Speaking of, now that you know that I know a ton about D tackle history in the NFL, let's see how our list goes here.
Your list, at least.
Yeah.
Because
at least have the right person number 1 on my list.
You have the absolute wrong answer for number 1. You apparently, unless you flipped it, apparently don't have the man Aaron Donald number 1.
No,
let me hear your top 5.
I have the more motivated, better.
More motivated. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't think that's the right phrase.
You're right. More motivated is not the right word. They're all motivated.
Yeah. You get to just
wants to play football more. I question Aaron Donald want to play in the NFL. I do question that a little bit.
That's
what I meant by more motivated.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I think he's motivated. I'm not like Aaron
Donald. Motivated to keep playing. Yeah.
Yes. Motivated
I can agree with that
playing. Like I just don't know. And his team's so bad, and it's just not doesn't quite seem like the same edge after the Super Bowl. So, whereas my man number 1 only seems like he's getting better after his Super Bowl win.
He is getting better, assuming you say this. Chris Jones.
Number 1 on my list. Aaron Donald, number 2. Those 2 are in a tier of their own, though.
Tier 1, those 2. 100% agree.
The next 5 guys could probably be interchangeable depending on health and
bro, I almost had an issue 3-10. I felt like almost all these dudes are the same. Honestly. Anyways, keep going. Who else do you have in the top 5?
Top 5, Quinnen Williams, 3. That's maybe a little bit of a young explosiveness bias. He gives us the highlight stuff, the crazy, holy crap stuff. So I like that. Dexter Lawrence, I put at 4. He kind of had a little resurgence last year. Unbelievable year. Tied for the highest PFF rating for defensive tackles last season, Dexter Lawrence. And then 5, Mr. I've been doing it for 10 years, just as good as ever, Cam Hayward. Now, is he really a D tackle? Not necessarily. I don't know. His position is very fluid, but I didn't really value him as a pass rusher, outside pass rusher in their scheme. He more plays interior, so that's why I want Cam Hayward there. Top 5.
Yeah, for their team, I would say he's a D tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe interior D line.
Interior defensive
is a better way to phrase our list here.
Yeah.
I had, other than one name, I had the same exact players as you in my top 5. And my other guy, it's a little more personal bias is why I have in my top 5. Aaron Donald is 1. The gap has obviously closed tremendously. If you still have Aaron Donald 1 as I do, you have to acknowledge that Chris Jones is literally right behind him. I would not be shocked at all if he unseats Aaron Donald this season. As you said, this could literally be Aaron Donald's last year. Very well could be. Chris Jones 2, Quinnen Williams 3. I'm in agreement with you there. Dexter Lawrence 4. So we're 3-4, the same. And Jeffrey Simmons comes in at 5 for me. Like I said, that might just be a little more biased to me. That's kind of an eye test. His statistical numbers haven't quite been there, but the dude is just a freak out there. So I had to throw him in my top 5. I gave Dexter the edge over Jeffrey because it's just incredible to watch what Dexter does at 340 pounds.
Yeah, this man is huge. Big.
Yeah. And I do think he is a little better run defender than Simmons. So that's why I had to give him the slight edge there. Give me where do you got Simmons? I'm interested in that. Where do you got him?
So 6 and 7 are both these eye test dudes. And I just slightly like the eye test better for my 6th man, DeForest Buckner. And then 7 is Jeffrey Simmons. So that's where I got those two landing. I think they're both freaks who haven't necessarily lived up to the statistical basis, or in Buckner's case, have been hurt a little bit. Then I went Christian Wilkins and Javon Hargrave, 8 and 9. And then 10, I did the old Commanders duo because I feel like De'Aaron Payne and Jonathan Allen, both kind of interior D linemen that are the same level of awesome and explosive. Allen more of a pass rusher, Payne more of a run stopper, but both super effective. And just Washington's D line is scary as hell. Like these two dudes and Chase Young and their other, is it Montez Sweat? Is that their other?
Yeah, Sweat. Rushers? Unless they got rid of him, that's who it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's a scary line from them. So I had to give them credit with both those guys.
I have DeForest at 6 as well. I have Cam Hayward falls in at 7 for me. So you have Cam Hayward ahead of those guys at 5. I'm assuming just because he's been doing it longer.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a huge drop off either. Really?
No, I mean back-to-back seasons with double-digit sacks.
Yeah,
these last 2 years.
So
I totally get that. Round out my top 10, 8, 9, 10. I have Jonathan Allen at 8, Javon Hargrave at 9, and Christian Wilkins at 10. I'm a little lower on Christian Wilkins. I do think he is arguably the best run defender out of these 10 guys I listed, at least. Yeah. But he just needs more of an impact as a pass rusher, in my opinion. That's why I'm a little lower on him. But his natural ability is definitely up there with a lot of these guys, for sure. Javon Hargrave, I got him in there because he's just a pass rushing freak. He was top 3 in sacks last year for his position. So I felt like he had to be in there. Jonathan Allen, I'm with you on that De'Aaron Payne thing. I should have maybe had Jonathan Allen lower and almost tied with De'Aaron Payne, kind of like you did. But that might just be a little more biased. I don't know. I've just always been a real Jonathan Allen fan. And he's another guy that, just like Wilkins or just like Hargrave, they're both not very good at rush defense. They're just pass rushing freaks. And I just think Jonathan Allen's a little better at rush defense, is why I had him ahead of Javon Hargrave. And I personally value pass rushing more than rush defense, which is why both of them were ahead of Wilkins.
All right. I like it. Honorable mentions here. And I'm also going to, because I'm kind of including my guy in both, I also want to talk about young guys who you think could get on this top 10 list. And I think my guy is already there, and he could even be in the top 5 list potentially. And that is Carolina Panthers D tackle Derek Brown.
Derek Brown. Yes. I'm with you on Derek Brown. We might messed up, yeah, like you said, by not having him in the top 10, but he's definitely in that honorable mention category, no doubt about it. Even a little bit of an older guy here, I think Vita Vea is in the conversation for this this back end of this top 10. I really do.
I like that.
He's another guy. He's a guy kind of like Lawrence, just he's so huge, so it's
Yeah.
just more fun to watch him do it at that size and that weight. It's just incredible.
Agreed.
Young guys though, do you have any like young guys that aren't in the top 10, probably aren't even honorable mention, but could definitely make that impact just based on their potential and their natural ability? What do you think?
I mean, I think we probably have similar guys here, and that's our. Why do we always have to give all these guys credit? Like, I know they got a good roster,
I
but like,
I
we
hate
gotta
doing it
talk
too,
off
man, but
all the time. Eagles defensive tackles, Jalen Carter, rookie. Think he could be
rookie.
effective. Obviously, had thoughts of the number one pick. In this Eagles culture, I think we can take care of all the issues that he had. And Jordan Davis, big, can be very effective. We've seen all the preseason stuff, how good he's looking and how fit and into it he looks. That man's a scary dude. So I just think their upsides is insane, and that's going to go along with Hassan Reddick and the good linebackers they have and the amazing corners that they have. So
Ridiculous. Yeah. They're going to be able to. One of them is going to go off this year for sure.
yep.
Just because of all the other pieces they have around them. Those are my two guys as well. So same boat there. There it is, y'all. Our top 10 interior linemen on the defensive end. Take it how you want. It's on the screen right now. Comment any names that you think for sure are in your top 10 or any names that we even talk about at all. We definitely want to hear from y'all in that regard. So comment below. And man, I don't know. We don't have a plan of what we're going to do next week, but we're starting to move back from the line of scrimmage. So probably linebackers, I would imagine. Middle linebackers. Maybe we'll do secondary. I don't know. But we'll do them all. So stick with us going forward to hear the rest of our rankings. Spinny, do you have any closing comments? Otherwise, I do have a Q&A.
I have a Q&A as well for you.
Ooh, you can shoot first. You shoot first.
Okay. Top 5 odds for NFL MVP going into this next season are Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and Hurts. I think
Burrow, Mahomes,
Allen, Herbert, Hurts.
Okay.
Anyone outside those top 5 guys that you think could have a long shot at actually winning the MVP?
Man, so I do think all 5 of those guys will probably have better seasons. But Trevor Lawrence is a name that comes to mind. It might be a year or two too early for him to make an MVP push, but he's got more weapons now. You added Calvin Ridley.
See, that's who came to my mind right away. And he still, next is Lamar, and then Tua, and then Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is now plus 1,600 to win MVP. So I think that's good odds for him, given like what you said, all the offensive capabilities they have. I think Jacksonville could win 12 games. 100% do. 100% could see it from them this year.
In that shitty division, absolutely.
Literally. Also, Justin Fields plus 2,000. I don't know. I know you're gonna hate that, but I think there's some Justin Fields MVP possibilities going on here, especially if the Bears can win 10 or 11 games, get a little crazy. I could definitely see it.
10 or 11 games.
What's crazier, Bears 10 or 11 games or Fields MVP?
Well, I think they're equally crazy because if that happens, then yeah, he is an MVP conversation probably, right? Because if they win that many games, it's because of him.
Yeah,
for sure. I just don't see it, man. This dude has 2,000 passing yards is his best season ever. Like I don't see it. Lamar though, that was the second name I was going to throw out.
Really?
Other than Trevor Lawrence, literally. If he stays healthy, I mean, we've seen him win an MVP. I think he finally actually has pass catchers now, other than Mark Andrews. So a nice little trio of wide receivers. Still have Mark Andrews. You got running backs to hand off to. You got, I know that obviously don't count for MVP, but just the whole offense in general, I think could take a step forward this year. It'll be interesting to have a new offensive coordinator. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can unlock a whole nother level of Lamar Jackson that we haven't seen yet. So he was the other name I was going to throw out. And obviously, this guy was the first name that popped in my head. The only reason why I didn't say him is because he plays the position that just won't ever win MVP, and that is Justin frickin' Jefferson. If he can do something like he did last year where he's flirting with 1,800 to 2,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns, 120 some catches, he has to be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I do think he was he a finalist last year, top 5 finalist, or not?
Not sure. Look that up for me while I'm asking you. What do you think Kirk Cousins' MVP odds are?
Justin Fields was what again? 2,000?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2,500.
Kirk is below Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Deshaun, all above Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love is above Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins plus 5,000 to win MVP right now, currently on FanDuel.
Huh?
Jordan Love plus 3,500. Kenny Pickett plus 4,000. Brock Purdy plus 4,000. Russ plus 4,000. Derek Carr plus 30.
Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett. 40 to 1. Kirk 50.
Kenny Pickett can't even grab a football. Bro has smaller hands than me, and I got some pretty damn small hands, man. That's crazy.
Mac Jones plus 6,000.
What?
First, Trey Lance plus 9,000. First, non-quarterback on the list is Justin Jefferson at plus 10,000. So 100 to 1 for Justin Jefferson.
That's crazy odds, right? But it's like, a wide receiver's not winning MVP. So it's like, don't even waste your time with that bet.
Yeah.
Listeners, please do not bet on him win MVP.
Same odds to win MVP as Sam Howell for Justin Jefferson. So.
All right, come on. Okay. now we're getting disrespectful.
And Ryan Tannehill and Kyler Murray.
Bro,
they have the same odds as Jay Jets to win MVP.
Kyler Murray? He's missing games this year. Oh, all right. I don't even want to hear any more of this. Please. I heard Kenny Pickett ahead of Kirk. That's all I needed to hear. I was done after that, man. That makes no sense. All right. Your Q&A question. Which one do I want to ask you? I actually had a couple in mind. I just didn't know which route to go. Let's just go this. I don't think we've ever discussed this, but give me like 3 to 5 of your favorite sports podcasts. Let's shout out some other pods here. What are some of your favorites that we should put our Hardies and Hardos on?
Ooh. Local wise, 10K bets. If you're into betting on sports, which I cannot do currently, but I have been into in the past. You can really enjoy that one. Pretty hilarious. Our local Minnesota boys, Mike Brown, CFB Mike, is on that pod quite regular. That's one that I really enjoy from them. Obviously, I mean, the big ones are always good. Russillo and Simmons, been listeners to them for quite some time. I listen to a lot of the Volume podcasts, Jason Timpf on basketball, Colin Coward, obviously. Again, we're shooting out guys that have 500 billion gazillion followers and don't need me to amp them. But those are some of the favorite pods, I'd say.
I do like Simmons and Russillo, obviously, just like every other person in the country, like you said.
Yeah.
Some other ones that really stand out to me are a lot of former athlete podcasts. I'm starting to fall in love with a lot of them, and especially the two that are sponsored by Wave Sports and Entertainment. Do you know who that would be?
Nope.
Wave Sports and Entertainment. They are a podcast company. They have the podcast New Heights with Travis and Jason Kelsey. That one is absolutely hilarious. They're awesome together. Please go listen to that one if you haven't. And the other one is Podcast P with Paul George. That's another podcast that is hilarious. He has NBA players come on as guests. His co-host, especially Jackie, his co-host Jackie is freaking hilarious. Jackie Long. Some of you may know him as he's an actor. Just great chemistry there, and they actually do talk basketball, so that's why I like it too. They're like actually dissecting the game. And the one that definitely dissects the game a lot, that's JJ Redick's podcast. I like that one a lot too. The Old Man and the Three. They had Damian Lillard on back in March, and I think maybe they only released it to subscribers at first, but I don't know the situation. But they dropped it today.
Really?
Go ahead and listen to that one. That's a very good episode. JJ right in the beginning of the episode says this might be our best one ever. Episode 150 for them. So those are ones that kind of stand out to me. Do you have any non-sports podcasts, I guess?
Ooh. One more sports podcast that is old but is still fun to listen to if you like talking like real NFL game, talking to coaches. Flying Coach is with Peter Schrager and Sean McVay. Last episode was in 2022, but they basically interviewed a ton of head coaches. I guess it's a Ringer podcast. Didn't realize that. But Kyle Shanahan, Mike Tomlin, Raheem Morris, Joe Judge, Troy Aikman, Arthur Smith, Zach Taylor, Cliff Kingsbury, bunch of current NFL coaches between these two, and it's funny because like a lot of them worked with McVay. They had Matt LaFleur on as well, and just kind of it's hilarious hearing those two. Not sports podcasts. Ooh, do you have any? You got to go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say. While you think, I'll throw out Smartless. It's with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. So if you are a Jason Bateman fan, please listen to this podcast. It is hilarious. They are awesome together. They always have a guest on every single episode. I don't want to say really interview because it's not really that, but they kind of just bullshit with the guests for an hour. That's all it is. They just have fun. They just have a conversation with whatever guest they have. And it's just fun and funny to listen to. Bateman is hilarious. Will Arnett, for those that have seen Arrested Development, that's him on Arrested Development with Bateman. So they've obviously known each other for years and years. So their chemistry is great. And Sean Hayes is hilarious. He is an actor as well. So that's probably my favorite non-sports one, honestly. Oh, one more.
Oh, yeah.
Another funny one. I gotta shout him out. This is a guy that definitely doesn't need more views because he has a shit ton, and that's Theo Vaughn, comedian. His podcast this past weekend is freaking hilarious, dude. It is awesome. And he usually brings up trippy topics. So if you kind of like humor as well as like trippy topics like space and other weird things like that, definitely give his podcast a listen. How about you?
Ooh. Man, this is tough. Like I don't do a ton of non-sports podcast listening because like if I'm not listening to sports podcasts, I'm like watching Netflix or like watching YouTube
Right.
or like I don't know. So I don't know if I have one. Honestly,
That's fair.
I don't know.
Well, hey, go listen to those ones I just shouted out.
Yeah, those are some.
I think you'd like them.
Agreed.
All right, before we close out and dip out of here, Spinny, you got to tell us, man, what BB
Nah. What are you going to give me? I need a negotiation then because you failed figuring it out. So you got to negotiate with me.
You just tell me because you're a nice guy.
No.
Yeah.
Flattery doesn't work. Come on.
I don't know. What do you want? Like, I don't know. Man, I don't know.
Give me a pitcher in a fantasy league.
All right, so he's gonna try to do that stuff like that. Can you believe this guy, listeners? This is crazy.
What do you mean?
You're literally gonna leave the Hardys and Hardos hanging all 55 minutes. Now they've been sitting here wondering what the hell BB means.
BB stands for birthday boy. It is my birthday on Sunday. I just thought you might get that. I thought it was too easy. We weren't gonna have
Too
a pod.
easy.
We
It's
weren't
not
gonna have
your
a
birthday
pod until I
today.
was 26, so I thought I'd shout myself out on this pod. Like, subscribe, share us up, Parties and
Do it
Hardos.
all,
Thank you
man.
for
Do it all.
listening. We love you. Hug your friends and family, and have a wonderful weekend.
What he said.